Check this car out. Came out of a storage unit auction. '67 Camaro. Check out that motor, huh? A small block Chevy. Storage unit said it had been sitting about 1 year. Hopefully it fires up. Looks like we need a battery first thing. Check some coolant. Oh, that's full. That's a good sign. Check the oil. Oil looks good. Go. This sounds good. Oh, hold on, I see a problem. I noticed the fan wasn't spinning, and there's a spot right here for a fuse. Let's see what that does. Okay, let's try to fire up again. Still no fan. Alright, I found this wire. It looks like it plugs into there. I think this fan just rides full time on. Oh yeah. That's a heck of a deal. Freaking key's not even on. So, fan is hardwired. There's the first problem. There's some cooling now. Let's make sure this battery's charging, shall we? Yep, 13, that's good. Cool. Let's grab the wife and try to go for a drive in this thing. There's something major clunking around in here. I didn't even think to look in here. Maybe there's something Hopefully not a body in there. Oh! Look at that. Yeah, extra transmission. I'm gonna yeet that out of here and then we'll go for a drive. Alright, let's go, huh?
Yeah.
Sounds alright.
Yeah, it doesn't sound bad.
No temp sensor sucks. No oil pressure sensor either. Not exactly who you want to see pull up when you have no license plates or registration. I had to do a way more thorough of a wash on this car than I had planned on doing, waiting for those guys to leave. Already lost the driver's seat. Yeah. That 180, that's perfect. Nice. Cool, it runs cool and everything. Hi there.
Hi.
Go ahead. Go harder. Good. No posi. Just got back from Summit. Got some new parts. Got a fan wiring kit so it comes on by temperature. Oil pressure sender unit, water temp sender, and I got 2 digital gauges to replace those broken gauges there in the dash. Let's jack this up and drain the coolant. Hit that petcock there. Hopefully it works. That was never going to drain, so I just took that out. You can see it's all clogged. We'll clean that out later. I'm going to try to pull this plug out of the side of the head, and then we'll pull that one out. And those are what we use for the 2 sending units. One for that fan kit and one for the new temperature gauge. Of course, there's more leaking. Okay, here's the old one. The new one I got is digital, that's why we're changing out this. I don't think these work without using the ones you're supposed to have. Okay, I'm hoping to put the fan one on the side of the block. And this one up here. Let's clean up some of this shenanigans. That wire was still plugged in. Did you guys hear that thing pop? My bad, my bad. Got both sending units in. Mounted that relay in that fuse block right down there. Kind of out of the way so you can't see it. Got some convoluted tubing for the wire that I'm gonna run over to the battery. I'll get this stuff hooked up and check back in with you. Okay, I got all that wired in. Got all that. I got the oil pressure sender in. Let's go on the inside and see where some of these wires go. I'd like to reuse some of them if possible. GoPro end dead. Kinda got that freed. Kinda. Okay, I got that somewhat wired in. Let's see. Hey, look at that. Alright. Cool. Powers and grounds are good. Okay, I got everything wired up the way I think that I want it wired up. Before I put the dash together and zip tie everything in place, let's pull this thing outside and start it and run it and make sure this fan's working. Make sure it's coming on at 185 and shutting off at 175. No fan spinning yet. Couple of problems. I wired the fan backwards. It's trying to push the air out instead of pulling fresh air in. Easy fix. I'll just cut those, swap the wires. Alright, I reversed the wires on the fan. That's working right now. Sucking her in, pulling her out. Good deal. Okay, I'm going to take this fender off because I'm going to order a new one. So I think I'll start by getting the hood off and then I'll work on the fender. feel like this fender was just too beat up. This is all caved in. This is all caved in. I don't know. It'd take a lot of work to get that straight again. I got just about everything off the car that I want off the car. Found a nice little mouse house under the spare tire. Ordered that fender already. That should be here in a few days. Think now I'm gonna start sanding on the car. Our next move is to address areas like this. There's like little bits of surface rust in there where like the paint's popping. So we gotta get that out and putty over it. Got our fender. This bolt's just spinning. I have to fix that. I'm surprised that didn't break. That was our problem right there. Finally got that fender on. I'm not thrilled with this fender at all. It took a lot to get this thing somewhat in there, and I'm still just not thrilled with like the way everything fits. Oh well, I'm gonna sand this with 180 now. Got the wife out here, taping her off. We're gonna skim the back of this now. Okay, this is going to be our makeshift paint booth. See how this works out. Made a little mixing table over there. This is my friend Tyler that paints cars. We're doing some trade work. The next video will actually probably be at his house when we're doing excavation.
Yeah, look how thick this stuff is. Oh yes.
Nice.
Banned in all counties. And I realized I got a bunch of shit that I didn't have hardener for.
Oh no.
So I had about 50 million gallons of toxic. Old school paint for an old school.
I like filming all the science. What's that right there? Is that the activator?
This is the activator.
What's that stuff?
This is dry additive or accelerator. This is the stuff that will shorten your lifespan.
Oh, you don't want to drink it, huh?
It's got liquid tin and things I can't pronounce in it. And I've learned that if something has things I can't pronounce in it, it must be bad for me.
Words to live by.
So I go to
And that's reducer.
always slow on a complete, so it keeps the face open so you can get all the way around it. Always use slow because it's got the most tail solvents in it.
Alright.
The reducer's job technically is to get the paint from the cup onto the panel that you're spraying, and you should usually only have about 5% left when it hits the panel. And the cool thing about a slow reducer is it's got more tail solvents, so you're going to have some more extra reducer left in there, and that's what's going to give you a little flow out, and it will keep the whole car wet, because you want it wet until you get all the way around it, so your overspray isn't landing on paint that's already dry, and that's how you start to get dirt nibs in the defects.
Okay. Wow.
Everybody always wants to go 100 miles an hour, fast, 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 and slower is faster with this.
Slower is faster.
Filtering is important, not just to get any clumps of anything in there we don't want, but it also is kind of the final blending of your components that you've just put together.
Oh, it's like mixing when it goes through.
It's like sifting flour through a flour sifter.
Okay.
Except this isn't going to make tasty cakes, it's going to make cancer for me when I'm later on in life.
Damn.
My kidneys hurt all the way up here just thinking about what I was about to do. $100. Thank you, Nevada Summer. We're going to go along and nib sand some of the dirt out of this and tack it off before we top coat. This is going to be our last opportunity to remove the defects. So I just, in this particular situation, since we have a solid color, just take a piece of 320 one direction so you don't take and gouge the paint with the residue that it's sanding off. That's all you need, one swipe. Do this, blow and tack it, and we'll start our top coat. All right, we're ready to mix our top coat. As always, I strongly recommend reading the instructions. God, who would ever thought of that? Double checking our mix ratios for temp and surface area should always be done regardless of how often you use a product, because believe it or not, they change it sometimes. So this is 4:1 with a 10% reducer, and we're definitely going to use that today because of the heat and humidity of August. So here we go. We notice on our cup we've got 4:1, and then we have 10, 20, and 30% for reduction. Fly in my head trying to get me to spill paint. Damn you. What do we got? Obviously, being temperature, once again, and the size of the job, we're using slow. Just because it's 80 degrees out doesn't mean you should use a faster hardener, or even 70 degrees. On a complete paint job, you want to be able to keep the whole car wet so you can get around it.
That's good to know.
Slower is faster.
Slower is faster. It's not how fast you mow, it's how well you mow fast. As per our directions, we're going to go 10%. Now, the only time I would go over this recommendation against the technical data sheet is on the last coat. You could put a little bit more in there to slick it out. You do not want to do that on the first or second coat, because if you do and your top dries too fast, you're going to get solid pop and you're going to trap solvent underneath there. Oh, damn.
All right, everybody, at this point in the game, we've got 2 heavy wet coats on this thing. We've got to do 1 more to slick it out. But before we go back around everything with 1 more coat, what we need to do is go look underneath the edges. Any place like right here, come look at this, where you might have missed a spot. Because after you do your last and final coat, especially if you've done something like an over reduction or some other adjustment to the paint to try to get the last coat to look as best it can look, the last thing you want to do is go back and have to spot stuff in. So before you start spraying, go around, look under all the nooks and crannies, all the hard to get spots, and touch it up. Then go back and do your last coat.
Taking shots at the enemy, I'm gonna make it to the top, leave a legacy. If I got something to say, you better let me speak. Turn it up a new degree, bitch, you ain't seen anything. I pop off with the new rock, electronic, blow the sonic roof up. I'm too honest when I take a few shots. They're too toxic, need to take the noose off. And you cannot save me, cause I don't need saving. It's everything I've been chasing, all here for the taking. Don't wanna test your luck with me, I think I've had enough disease. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half-nots.
You are not as tough
I don't slack, don't lose, learn your lesson yet. When I get to choose what I do, I'm like a weapon. I'm not sharp as many, but got hard, I'm ready to change. Scars to envy, to win large and plenty. I like to play fast, never change back. Calling out, I'll pay back, cause I'm great at that. Oh, you cannot save me, cause I don't need saving. It's everything I've been chasing, all here for the taking. Don't wanna test your luck with me, I think I've had enough disease. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half-nots.
You are not as tough
Don't wanna test your luck with me, I think I've had enough disease. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half.
How many coats of clear do you do?
2.
2 coats.
I don't think I have enough harder, otherwise I might be 3.
And ironically, the first day of Hot August Nights. I mean, we are really cutting this down to the wire here. So I'm gonna unmask the car, get what I can get bolted on this baby, and hopefully go cruising tonight. Got the back all together. Put a new trunk seal in. Front bumpers on, front grills on. I left this out because I want to buy the aftermarket RS, what's it called, hideaway headlight or whatever. Almost forgot to put that back in. Coming down to the home stretch here. Just gonna armor all up the tires and get on the road.
just had it.
Oh, I didn't know that. Back home from night one of Hot August Nights. That was an absolute blast. No problems with the car. Lots of compliments.